Now we want to talk a little bit about handling fear in your career. We've got our career coach, Sarah Vermunt, here, guys. This is a good one because we fear a lot in general, but definitely at work. And this is about sort of making decisions at work, right? Mm-hmm. So when fear is standing in the way, we don't necessarily know which way we should go. So let's talk about what are the kinds of fears we might have in the workplace.
Oh, so many. Just to name a few, fear of rejection is a big one. Like fear like, oh my gosh, what if I apply for a job and nobody sees my work experience as relevant? I might get rejected. Mm-hmm. Fear of judgment. You know, oh my gosh, people are going to think I'm a total spaz if I think about leaving my good, stable, good-paying job for something else.
Right.
Fear of loss is a big one. So if you're thinking about maybe a career change, afraid of losing your salary and everything you've worked for, and people are afraid they're going to live in a van down by the river, fear of identity loss. Like there's so many things people are afraid of.
Yes. So you're talking specifically
at work.
They do. And you're talking specifically about leaving a job or leaving a career and going and pursuing something else.
Or applying for a new job or starting a business of your own. Like really any shift in your career, whether it's a significant one or a minor one, is going to come with a lot of fears. And all the ones I just listed are definitely going to all be there if you are thinking about making some change.
I've also heard people express fear of being judged, but being judged as being too ambitious.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Which is so silly, but why do we care about that? Yeah, I'm ambitious, so what? But people, they think, oh, but I don't want my colleagues to think I want all of this stuff.
Well, especially us as women, right?
Yes.
Because we're generally socialized to make sure everyone else feels really comfortable.
Yeah.
And so sometimes being ambitious and wanting a lot sort of triggers things in other people.
Yeah.
And so we have to work a little bit harder at being comfortable with shining our light and going after what we want.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've considered our fears. We've thought about them. We understand we're in their space. How do we make good decisions even though we are fearful?
Big question, right?
Yeah.
So I had an interesting question from one of my clients last week, and she's in the middle of thinking about a career change, and she said, okay, I really want to do this thing, but I'm also really freaking scared of it. Does it mean, like, does the fear mean I should actually go for it, or does it mean I shouldn't?
Yeah.
And I actually think that's a question that a lot of people can relate to. It's like, okay, I'm afraid of this thing, and I don't know if the fear means yes, or if it means run in the other direction.
Yes.
So really, the key to making a good decision when you are afraid of something is figuring out what kind of fear you're experiencing. Is it what I call hell yes fear? So like the yes, I'm afraid, but I'm going to take a deep breath and go for it anyway. Or is it the hell no fear where you're sort of getting signals that maybe you're moving in the wrong direction? And that's really hard to sort that out, but there are some ways to do it.
Okay, so what should you be looking for? What are the keys to figuring that out?
The way I like to think about it is to ask yourself what your fear is paired with. Okay. So is your fear paired with aversion and a heaviness and sort of like a icky feeling that makes you want to run in the other direction? That's what I call hell no fear. Okay. So that usually means you're moving towards something that maybe isn't a good fit for you. Like maybe you're moving towards something that you think you should do, but you don't really want to do. Now, the other kind of fear, the hell yes fear, that means, yeah, you should probably go for it, is that kind of fear. It's still fear, but it's usually paired with excitement and anticipation. There's a lightness about it. Very often you'll feel like a supercharged energy with that kind of fear. So it's still scary, but there's a good energy that's paired with it. That usually means you're moving in the right direction.
There needs to be that nugget of excitement, though, because in anything that you ever wanted in your life, you know that even if you are so scared to do it, you've got that underlying excitement there. Yeah. And you know that once you go for it, you're going to feel so good about it. So that's what you've got to look for.
Yeah. And,
you've got to look for the nugget.
The excitement has to be there. And what trips people up is they think that they have to get rid of the fear in order for it to be the right thing. But very often when we're moving towards things that are very good for us, that we really want, the fear actually spikes because the stakes feel really freaking high, right? So you don't have to have an absence of fear to know you're moving in the right direction. You just need to know that it's paired with those other good feelings.
That's actually a really good point to make. I think a lot of people think people are out there and they've conquered their fear and that's why they can do it. No!
oh my God,
they're
no.
still scared.
Yeah.
And they're walking into their fear knowingly, and they're doing it.
Yeah, I like to think of fear, if you think of yourself driving a bus in your career, you're the driver, fear is always going to be a passenger, but you don't let it drive the bus.
Right.
So it's going to come with you.
Yes.
It's a natural part of the journey. You just don't let it take over.
Oh, I love that. You say also watch your body language.
Yeah, so if you're having trouble figuring out what this fear means, a really great thing to do is to notice how your body is reacting to things. We're so good about noticing other people's body language, but we very often don't pay attention to our own. So if you notice that you're feeling afraid about a decision, but you're also standing up or like sitting up a little straighter and your eyes are wide open and you're leaning in, like that's a hell yes kind of feeling.
Okay.
Or if you're feeling a little bit scared, but you're sort of like retreating and slouching and slumping and turning away, your body language will actually give you some clues about that maybe not being a great decision.
Once again, listening to that gut.
I know.
You really got to listen to yourself. It's like the key to life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sarah, really good advice. Thank you for that.